Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In our previous class, we have been discussed vegetative propagation by underground stem and vegetative propagation by subaerial stem. So in our underground stem, we have been discussed four types. One is the stem tuber, rhizome, corm, and bulb. And in vegetative propagation by subaerial stem, we have been discussed. One is the runner, another one is the stolon. So next, let us discuss the third type of subaerial stem is offset. So this is an Eichhornia plant or water hyacinth plant which is showing an offset type of a vegetative propagation. So by taking this, let us discuss about the offset here. So offset is a short thick lateral branches developed in certain hydrophytic plant. So what is the meaning of first of all hydrophytic? Hydrophytic means with the plant which will grow in water. Plants grow in water. Offset means hydrophytic means what? Hydrophytic means the plants which will grow in water. So the Eichhornia is a plant which will grow in the water. So that's why we have been mentioned it as a hydrophytic plant. So it is a short thick lateral branches develop in certain hydrophytic plant. So this Eichhornia, it will produce a short thick lateral branches. So this is a stem here. This stem it is producing a short thick lateral branches it is producing here, which will grow on the surface of the water. And how it will grow here? It will grow horizontally in the surface of the water. Suppose assume that this is a water surface, means above the water surface, water area, surface of the water means above this the plants they will grow. So on this, that's why they are growing in a horizontal manner. These plants will be grown on the surface of the water in a horizontal manner. Horizontal means what here? In a sleeping manner. So like that it will be completely, it will cover the water area which is present in that particular body. So that means it grows horizontally on the surface of the water. And these plants offsets, what it will do is they produces a cluster of leaves and above the surface of the water. As I said here, this is the water surface area, means above this water surface area they will produce a cluster of leaves here. So a cluster means what here? A bunch or a group of leaves it produces above the surface of the water. They produces a cluster of leaves, and below the surface of this water it will produce as a adventitious root. Which are the adventitious root? These are the adventitious roots it is producing. Which are the adventitious roots means these are the adventitious roots producing. Suppose here when this offset it will get detaches like this, or it may get decomposed, means each it will develop into a new independent life here. Each it will develop into a new individual and it leads a independent life. It may get separated or it may get break here, means so that time each part it will develop into a new independent life here. Example for this offset is Pistia or Eichhornia. So we have taken the Eichhornia, that is nothing but water hyacinth, and we explained this offset. Even Eichhornia we are calling it as a terror of Bengal. So why we are calling it as a terror of Bengal means, so in where this plant, in which water body this plant it will grow here, it will drains all the oxygen from the water, and due to lack of oxygen in the water, many aquatic animals they will get die, such as fishes, all these things they will get die. So that's why we are calling them as a what term is terror of Bengal. So this is about your offset. So where they will grow means they will grow on the surface of the water. Above the surface of the water they will be having the cluster of leaves, and below that they will be having the adventitious root they are present. It is a hydrophytic plant. It is producing a thick what term is lateral branches they are producing, and when it breaks up it will lead an independent life. Next let us discuss next fourth type. So fourth type is sucker. Next let us discuss fourth type, that is sucker. Next let us discuss the sucker by taking an example of a chrysanthemum. So this is a plant called chrysanthemum. So it is a modified special lateral branches arises from the underground part of the stem. So usually you have seen that the branches will be arises from the above the surface of the soil from the stem. Usually you have seen the many normal plants. We have seen the branches also. But branches from where it is arising? They are arising from the above the surface of the soil of the stem. But here the branches are arising from where? Means it is arising from the underground part of the stem. See this is one branch, this is one branch. So these are the branches from where they are arising. They are arising from the underground part of the stem. They are not arising above the surface of the stem. From where they are arising here? They are arising from the underground part of the stem that they are arising. So like that the branches are arising from the underground part of the stem they are arising. So that's why it is a modified, because it has changed itself here. Normally the branches will be arises above the surface of the soil from here. So this is the soil surface, the branches will be arises above the surface of the soil, but here the branches they are not arising above the surface here. Branches are arising below the surface. So that's why we are calling it as a modified underground part of the stem we are calling, and it grows obliquely above the soil surface. It grows obliquely above the soil surface and develops into a aerial shoot and underground adventitious roots. And how it will grow here means it will grow obliquely. The branches will be starts from the below the soil only, but that branches they will become above the surface of the soil like this. So they are arising from the below the soil, but that branches they are not present inside the soil itself here. The branches they are coming above the surface of the soil. They are coming above the surface of the soil like this. So and what they contain here, they contain the adventitious roots. Which is the adventitious roots? These are the adventitious roots. It is present. These are the adventitious root it is present. And when this sucker it will get detaches here. When this sucker it will get detaches like this. If it detach like this here, sucker, it will develops into a new individual, and it will develops into a new shoot. So like that, so we will get the new offspring. So like that, if these are the branches which containing the adventitious root. So these are the adventitious roots which is arising from these branches. If you detach this one from the parent body means it will develop into a new shoot, or it will develop into a new individual. So example for sucker is chrysanthemum and pineapple, etc. So these are the examples for the sucker. So sucker they having what speciality? Underground part of the stem they are having here. The stem they are arising, the branches they are arising from the underground the stem, and that branches they are coming above the surface of the soil, which is having the adventitious root. So like this here we have been discussed the 4 types of subaerial vegetative subaerial stem modification, that is runner, sucker, stolon, offset. 4 types we have been discussed. Next let us discuss the vegetative propagation by aerial shoot. Vegetative propagation by aerial shoot. Vegetative propagation by underground stem is over. Vegetative propagation by subaerial stem is over. Next third type is vegetative propagation by aerial shoot. So let us discuss this one. This is a plant called a cactus, which is in xerophytic in nature. This is a plant called cactus, which is in xerophytic in nature. This is a plant called a cactus, which is xerophytic in nature. What is the meaning of xerophytic? Xerophytic means the plants which will grow in a very less water condition. So hydrophytic means the plants which will grow in the water. Xerophytic means the plants which will grow in the very less water condition. Cactus where it will grow means cactus it will grow in a xerophytic condition, very less water in condition. Example for that is Opuntia, cactus, all these are the acacia. So these are the plants which will grow in the xerophytic in nature. So we have taken the cactus as an example to explain the aerial shoot here. So cactus it is in xerophytic in nature. It is a plant, it will grow in a very less water condition. This cactus it will produces the bud. Which is the bud here? This is the bud. These plants it will produces the bud. This plant it will produces the bud here. So bud present is a bud. When this bud it will get detaches from the parent body. So these plants they are producing the bud. When this bud it will get detaches or separate from the body, it will develops into a new area, new plant here. When it get detaches from the plant body, it will develops into what here? It will develops into a new plant here. These buds are present in the buds present is modified aerial shoot. So that is nothing but phyllocyte develops into a new plant plant here. What they are telling me is bud present is modified aerial shoot. Whatever the bud we are seeing here, it is a modified aerial shoot. So you know very well here in the cactus we'll find a flat green color structure. The flat green color structure, what we are calling means we are calling it as a phylloclade. We are calling, actually that is a stem, but that stem it has modified itself in the form of flat green in structure to perform the photosynthesis. So this structure we are calling it as a phylloclade. This phylloclade it will produce as the bud. These phylloclades what it will produce as? It will produce as the bud. When this bud it will get detaches, it means it will develop into a new individual. And this is the node we are calling. This is the node, this is the node, this is the node, this is the node. So bud from where it is arising? Bud it is arising from the nodal region. This is about your vegetative propagation by aerial shoot. Example for this is cactus, opuntia. These are all are the examples which is showing the aerial shoot of a vegetative propagation. And another one thing, aerial shoot here means the stem it is completely present above the surface. It is the stem it is in a erecting condition, but in the subaerial condition the stem it is present horizontal to the surface. So that's why we are given the name as a subaerial stem we are calling. This one is aerial stem. Aerial means the stem it is present in the surface of the erect in the air. So that's the aerial shoot. Vegetative propagation by root is finished. Vegetative propagation by stem is finished. Next let us discuss the vegetative propagation by leaf. Vegetative propagation by leaves. So let us discuss this vegetative propagation by leaves. This is a bryophyllum leaf which is showing an adventitious buds on the leaf margin. So leaf margin means this is the leaf margin. This is an bryophyllum leaf which is producing the adventitious buds. Which are the adventitious buds? These are all are the adventitious buds which is produced on the leaf margin. So which is the leaf margin means this is the leaf margin. So on this leaf margin the adventitious buds will be produced here. So these buds when it will be produced means only at the maturity. When the plant it will comes to the maturity, that time these leaves it will start for producing the adventitious buds. Adventitious buds it will be present above the surface of the leaf, whereas below the lower surface of the leaf it will produce as the adventitious root. It will be produced here. Example, like assume that this is my hand. This way assume that my hand is like a leaf. This is the upper surface area of the leaf and this is the lower surface of the area of the leaf here. Now where the adventitious buds it will produce means adventitious buds it will be produced in this margin here. So buds will be produced produced on the upper surface here, whereas adventitious roots where it will produce adventitious roots it will be showing downwards. So see here I have been mentioned here. So this is the bud, adventitious bud which is showing on the upper surface here, whereas the adventitious roots where it will be present adventitious roots. This is the adventitious roots, it is facing towards the downwards. Adventitious roots where it is facing towards the downwards here. Both bud and the adventitious roots it is emerging from this leaf margin only, but the bud it will be emerges facing towards the upper region of the leaf here, whereas adventitious roots it is facing towards the lower region of the leaf. So that's why here at maturity a small leafy shoot develops above and many adventitious roots below. The adventitious roots it is facing towards the downwards of the leaf, whereas adventitious buds, leafy shoots, it is arising from where means it is facing towards the upper surface of the leaf. When this bud it will get detaches or it will get separated from the leaf here, and when it falls on the suitable substratum or when it comes in contact with the soil, it will develop into a new individual. When this bud it will get detaches or it will get separated from this leaf margin means it will develop into a new individual. When it will get develops into a new individual means when it will get the suitable substratum, when it comes in contact with the soil, it will develop into a new individual. So this type of propagation we are calling it as a vegetative propagation by leaf. Example for this is Bryophyllum, Kalanchoe, Adiatum, or even we are calling it as a walking fern. So this is the example. So what I mean is three examples are Bryophyllum, Kalanchoe, Adiatum or walking fern. Next let us discuss vegetative propagation by bulbils. That is nothing but bud. vegetative propagation by bulbils. Bulbils are nothing but they are the bud. These are the buds. This is an agave plant which is producing the bulbils. So this is a which plant here? This is a agave plant which is producing the bud called the bulbils. These bulbils are the modified part of which is floral bud. So floral bud has been modified into bulbils. In agave plant, floral bud has been modified into bulbils here. Modified means floral bud, it has been changed into form a bud called the bulbils. What is the meaning of bulbils? Means bulbils are the multicellular fleshy buds. What is the meaning of bulbils? Means bulbils are the multicellular fleshy bud. So multicellular means these bulbils, they are made up of many cells and they are fleshy in condition. Fleshy in condition means they will be having lot of soft flesh inside this bulbil. So they will be soft in condition. So that's why we are calling it as a bulbils, multicellular fleshy bud we are calling. So these bulbils are produced in the agave plant, which is a modified part of the floral bud. So in the agave, so this is the bud, this is the bulbil. So this is the bulbil which has been shown here. Next in Dioscorea, this is also one type of another plant. So this is the agave plant. Other one plant is there, called it as a Dioscorea. So in Dioscorea also this plant also will produce as the bulbils, but these bulbils are a modified part of the axillary bud, whereas in agave bulbils are a modified part of a floral bud. So in floral bud has modified to the bulbils in agave, whereas in Dioscorea bulbils are produced by the modified part of a axillary bud. So like the two examples have been given. This is a agave plant. Another one plant is Dioscorea, which they have been not mentioned here. Next, when this bulbil, it will get detaches or it will get separated, and if it placed in the suitable substratum or if it placed inside the soil means it will develop into a new plant. When each bulbil, so how many bulbils are there? Each bulbils, it will develop into a new plant. So this is about the vegetative propagation by bulbils. Bulbils are nothing but a bud. So as I said you here, the vegetative parts are present: root, stem, leaf and bud. So already we have been discussed about the root. So this is about root, stem, leaf and bud we are discussing. So these are the buds which we are given the name as a what name is bulbils. So which will helps to produce a new plant. This is which plant this is? This is a agave plant which is producing the bulbil. This bulbil they have been shown in a enlarged condition, which is in a multicellular fleshy bud. Why we are calling it as a fleshy means these bulbils they will be having the soft fleshy in condition. So it will not be in a dry in condition. It will be in a soft in condition. So this is about your vegetative propagation by bulbils. So till now we have been discussed the vegetative propagation by root. We have been discussed by taking a sweet potato. We have been discussed the stem. So in the stem a few types it has been present. One is underground stem. In underground stem we have been discussed 4 types. One is the stem tuber, another one is the rhizome, third one is the corm and fourth one is the bulbil. Next another type we have been discussed, that is subaerial. In that subaerial we have been discussed runner, sucker, offset and stolen. 4 types we have been discussed. Next we have been discussed aerial by taking an example of what here, cactus here. After that leaf we have been discussed by taking an bryophyllum, and fourth wise bud we have been discussed by taking an example of agave. So like that 4 vegetative parts are also used for the vegetative propagation. With the help of this a new plant it will get produced. So here we complete the natural method of vegetative propagation. Next is the artificial method of vegetative propagation. It is present in artificial cutting, grafting, layering and tissue culture it is there. But this artificial, it is important for your NEET exam, not for your board. So those are applying for the NEET exam, let them learn this artificial type of vegetative propagation, but for your board it will not appear. So that's why we'll eliminate this one. Next we'll go to the next topic, that is importance of vegetative propagation. Importance of vegetative propagation. In that, let us discuss first step. So first importance is it is only method of multiplication in a seedless plant. First step out here, it is only method of multiplication in a seedless plant. This is the first importance of the vegetative propagation. What is the first important means we are seeing here in our nature we will find the varieties of plants, and all the plants will not produce as the seeds. So some plants will produce as the seed, some plants will not produce as the seed. Those the plants which are producing the seed, with the help of that seed they will get a new plant. But the plants which are not producing the seed, so this is the only method for them to produce their own offspring. So vegetative propagation is the only method for to produce their own offspring in the seedless plant. So example for this is sugar cane, banana, etc. So these are the plants which will multiply itself in which form means in the vegetative propagation method. This is the first benefit we are getting from the vegetative propagation, because it is only method of multiplication in a seedless plant. So the plants which are not producing the seed, through this method they produce their own offspring. So this is the benefit. Next benefit, a plant can be retained and multiplied independently without any changes or variation. Next point, what here? A plant can be retained and multiplied independently without any change or variation. So through the vegetative method, a plant can be retained and multiplied independently without any change or variation. So you know very well here, vegetative propagation is a uniparental method. So here single parent is responsible. So that's why here whichever the characters are present in that single parent, same characters will be transmitted to the next generation without any changes. So if the plant is having the very good characters, means that very good characters without any changes, it will be transmitted to their offsprings without any variation or without getting any new character. Variation is nothing but a new characters which is not present in the parents. So if a new character, it will be produced in the offspring which is not there in the parents, we are calling it as a variation. So through this vegetative propagation, there will be no change or variation obtained in the offspring. So whichever the characters are present in the parent, same characters will be entered into the offspring. So that is the another benefit we are getting. Next benefit what here is, it is a very rapid process. Next benefit what here, it is a very rapid process. So to the vegetative propagation, we will get a fast offsprings will get here. We doesn't want to wait for a longer period in order to get the offspring. In a fast manner, in a quick manner, we will get the offsprings in through this vegetative propagation. That is the next benefit, another benefit. Next benefit, it is helpful for the production of disease-free plant. Next benefit what here? It is helpful for the production of diseased free plant. Next benefit what we are getting, it is helpful for the production of diseases free plant. If the parent plant it is in a healthy condition, means it is not having any disease, means then there is no chance of getting the disease to the offspring. So that is, it will be helpful for the production of a disease free plant. So disease free plant is nothing but the offsprings which we are getting from this process, they are not having any chances of getting the diseases here. The offsprings will be in a healthy in condition. That is the benefit we are getting. Next benefit, next importance of the vegetative propagation is good quality of plants can be preserved for a longer time. Next benefit what here? Good quality of the plant preserved for a long time. That means if the parent is having any good quality, means that quality can be preserved for a long duration of time. We can preserve. It will not get destroyed. The parent, if the plants which is having any good character, whichever it may be present, if they having any good character, means that good characters we can retain it for a longer period. We can preserve them for a longer period of time without any destroyer. That is the benefit. Next benefit what here means, so it reduces the period of for flowering and fruiting of the plant. Next benefit what here means, last benefit, it reduces the period for flowering and fruiting of plant. So next our benefit what it is showing means, it reduces the period of flowering and fruiting of the plant. So just now as I shown here, it is a very rapid process as I said here. So fastly it will undergo this process to the vegetative propagation. Fastly will get the offspring. So that is the meaning here also. So through this vegetative propagation we will get a flowering fast. After flowering only we will get the fruit. So flower convert into the flower only convert into the fruit. So this flowering and fruiting it will be taken place in a fast manner. So the period it will not take a longer time for the flowering and the fruiting. In short period time only the plants will get the flowering and fruiting also. So that will get a early yield will get. It will be benefit for the farmer. So this is the another benefit, last benefit we are getting from the vegetative propagation. So these are all are the benefits of the multiplic vegetative propagation. First one what I mean is the plants which are not producing the seedless. I'll repeat it another one time. So the plants which is there, it does not produce us any seeds here. Such type of plants they will go for the vegetative propagation, like sugarcane. In sugarcane will not find any seed. So such type of plants easily they can go for the vegetative propagation. So this is only the method for them. Next to benefit what I mean, so the characters which is present in the parents, it will be remains as it is and it will get transmitted to the offspring. Next benefit what I mean, it will be they will shows the very rapid process here. Multiplication it will be take place in a fast manner. They will get the fast offspring. They doesn't want to wait for their yield for a longer period. In a fast manner they will get the yield. And next it will be helpful for the production of the diseased free plant here. Next benefit what we are getting is through that here the offsprings which will get here, they will be in a diseased free condition. They will be in a healthy in condition. So they will not get any diseases. Next, good qualities of the plant can be preserved for a longer time here. So the plants which is having the good quality, they can be preserved for a longer period of time. So next one, even the flowering and fruiting will also be in a fast manner, so that the farmer will get a fast yield they will get. So this is the importance of the vegetative propagation. Here we completed the asexual method. Next in our class we will go for the sexual method of reproduction.